Right now, tariffs continue to dominate the headlines. Whether you like Trump or not, that's just kind of the talking point right now. And at least economically speaking, it's part of every single conversation. Meanwhile, Hedera Hashgraph, if we bring it back into the world of crypto, has quietly secured 3 game-changing deals that could send its token HBAR, that's HBAR, to $1, perhaps eventually beyond. Governments are hungry for real trillion-dollar CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. And Hedera is moving billions of real-world assets on-chain, billions of dollars. We have found what you could call a catalyst that's been hidden in broad daylight in terms of what could push Hedera and HBAR ahead for at least the rest of this year. Right now, $1 would represent about a 4x from where HBAR currently stands. Let's find out if that's realistic. If $1 and beyond is realistic, we'll analyze this project and we'll give you our personal take, its price potential, and what it can realistically achieve in the near and medium term future. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest into HBAR or otherwise. I genuinely wish you well. Just remember that I'm not a financial or investment advisor, meaning by extension that this video is not official financial or investment advice. We have been covering Hedera as a project a good bit recently, so I'm not going to rehash, pun intended, the basics of the project, but it does have 2 important features, differences really, than most of the other projects that we cover. These are 2 important variables, and they are number 1, the fact that it's based on Hashgraph, not blockchain, and number 2, the permissioned network. As a Hashgraph, Hedera takes consensus based on what everyone is saying rather than a POS, that's proof of stake, or a POW, a proof of work model. And this works because there are strong disincentives for spreading a lie, kind of as if playing the telephone game as a kid, right? Hashgraphs, by their design, can confirm all kinds of different transactions at the same time. This gives them a scaling edge, actually, in a significant way over blockchains. And as a permissioned network, it's actually what we'd call semi-private. All the validators are big, huge tech companies, so names like Google and Dell. You have to ask and actually get permission to run a validator. And normally we don't favor projects that do this, but in Hedera's case, with all kinds of government and RWA clients, compliance is a pretty big issue for them, so it's understandable to have this kind of a structure in place. Let's talk about what recent activities have been bullish for Hedera, and by extension, of course, for the HBAR token. First of all, there's been a good amount of CBDC news lately, and this topic, I have to admit, is contentious. It's always been a double-edged sword if you talk about it in the world of crypto or even in a crypto-adjacent context. We have to report on it because it is important whether you like it or not, and there are crypto projects that are involved in CBDCs, as you probably know, central bank digital currencies. Even though it kind of does go against what most of us in crypto believe in, maybe what brought us into this space, it's still worth understanding the landscape and what's going on. Governments, whether you like it or not, governments want in. They want this technology. They're going to be able to get it probably one way or another. So my kind of suggestion or my point of view is that we may as well try to make money from it if we cannot prevent it. CryptoX is rampant right now with all kinds of videos, different articles, and highlights about the World Economic Forum, the WEF choosing XRP, Hedera, and Lumen's networks to run their CBDCs on-chain and digitally. And then we also have the Bank of England, which has started with its digital pound, and one of the main networks that it chose was Hedera. Looking ahead, I think it's pretty certain that a digital euro is on its way soon as well. That's also probably going to be on Hedera. It's actually one of 2 with Algorand in contention for a retail CBDC in Sweden, and it's in the running in Australia as well. You know as well as we do that none of this happens until it happens, right? Nothing is guaranteed in this space or in life in general. But Hedera right now is laying the foundation and really doing all the background work required to be a huge player in the CBDC market. I do not love CBDCs, okay? The team broadly at Altcoin Buzz does not love CBDCs. We don't have a lot of love for them at all. But if there's a positive to glean with this situation, it's that this is an avenue, an on-ramp, if you will, that's going to bring more people into crypto and more people specifically onto Hedera. And hopefully they'll be able to try other apps and protocols too. And you can make of that what you will. I'm not saying it's a massive silver lining, but that's a positive takeaway. Okay, I also want to discuss the growing real-world asset tokenization markets because the RWA is actually expecting to more than 20x in the next 5 years. Hedera, of course, is diving deep into the RWA sector. Their partnership with Tokeny is going to make the tokenization of securities a lot easier for institutions. And probably most importantly, they can maintain the necessary compliance with their regulators as they go about this business. And this really is a big one because this one move alone is expected to bring billions of dollars of securities on chain. The DTCC is the main clearing entity for US securities. And right now there seems to be all kinds of speculation over HBAR Twitter that Hedera specifically and Chainlink are working directly with DTCC to help clear over $1 quadrillion in transactions. Not billion, not trillion, 1 quadrillion. Obviously, that's a huge number. To put it in perspective, that would bring more assets on chain than currently exist on chain. So that would be an accomplishment, to say the least. Even if we were just able to get a small portion, a fraction of that market, the result would be incredible euphoria and enthusiasm, very likely a 100x of all the RWA and RWA adjacent projects like Chainlink, like Hedera, and others as well. But of course, this is all speculation. It's totally unofficial, and we are waiting for confirmation on this. It would be nice, but this is certainly not guaranteed. When it comes to tokenization and RWAs, we talk about all kinds of different platforms. Ondo is the big boy in this space after Mantra had its fall from grace. That was kind of gross. But the most important piece of blockchain infrastructure when it comes to the RWA sector is oracles. And then the most important oracle in the space is Chainlink. So watching what Chainlink does is probably going to tell you a lot about the direction of the sector. Therefore, it's no surprise to see that Hedera is now fully integrated with Chainlink's CCIP. That is its cross-chain interoperability protocol. And then in addition, Hedera just joined Chainlink's Scale. This makes it easier for Hedera developers to use Chainlink's oracles when building out apps. And with CCIP, Hedera's apps can connect to 46 other blockchains. Altogether, this is just very, very, very bullish. Also, Kenya has just digitized its stock exchange and opened itself up as an RWA listing platform as well. Who do they pick to do this for them? You probably guessed it, none other than Hedera. The Kenya Digital Exchange is going to include both a regulated RWA platform and its existing stock market, but in digitized form. So can HBAR reach $1? There's all this bullish news right now, and Hedera's increasing alignment with RWA in particular is actually making it pretty hard to bet against as a project. Its current price right now is just over 18 cents as I record, so $1 would be about a 5x in terms of ROI, return on investment. It's a big move, but it is absolutely possible. In fact, I'd say it's almost inevitable, barring some kind of a black swan event, especially, by the way, if Hedera continues to grow its importance in RWA as a sector. Could it happen this cycle? That's maybe a more prescient question. And in this altcoin season, we're expecting to kind of kick off later this year. Yes, this can still definitely happen in this cycle. If we look at the market cap here of Hedera, of HBAR, it sits at about $7.5 billion. So again, 5x. It's still realistic. That makes it a big move because now we're in the $35 to $40 billion range as a project. A big move. Possibly another cycle will be necessary, but I expect this is going to happen. Possibly again, even in this cycle. It's just making too many good, big integrated moves to be ignored as a project. So if you haven't been on top of all these news with Hedera, I'd probably recommend that you follow them, follow their socials, keep abreast and keep updated on all the latest news. Good things are happening right now, and we anticipate a very, very healthy future for the HBAR token, both kind of in the near-term future, the medium-term future, and beyond as well, to be honest.